Today we are going to take a look at the new Milwaukee M18 Fuel 1-key 125mm 5-inch dual trigger braking angle grinder with dead man paddle switch, tool only. Well, we won't be looking at tool only, we will of course have a battery on it, but this is the M18 FSAGES12500 means tool only. Now that's quite a mouthful, but what does it all mean? Well, let's open the box. Here she is in all her glory as she comes out of the box. We've got a 4-mode button here on the bottom. 4 modes. Interesting. We've also got auto stop written there. We've got rapid stop written up here. We've got the 1-key icon there. It is of course a fuel tool and is brushless. And it has a handle that's already attached. Now I'm going to be using this tool with a standard battery, a high output battery, and the new Forge batteries. Now if those batteries look different to where you live, it's because you live in North America and in the rest of the world the battery stickers look like this. Right, let's get into this. Now if you've ever bought a grinder, and I'm guessing most of you have, you will know they basically come in a box with the grinder. You normally chuck on the guard, screw in the handle, away you go. And the handles come directly out the side. You may notice this handle is a little bit different. This handle is what makes this tool this tool. This handle is what's going to put a lot of you off this tool. But this handle is also going to be a requirement for you to use this tool on lots of work sites. So why is this handle so special? What makes it different to a standard handle? Well, it's attached to the tool. It cannot be removed from the tool. As you can see, it's attached on the top here. If you pull this lever back here, which is basically in the position you would turn on a lot of grinders, if you've got a slide switch grinder, that's where it would be. But here, it is for moving your handle. There is a few different stops. You've got one at the top there, nothing in the middle there, no. So it's just top and then either side. It locks in place, so if you're left or right-handed, you can use it either side. But hang on tools, it's running parallel with the body. Well, if you pull this little sort of ring piece here, this here pops down, so that, I'm just going to have to zoom out one moment. When this gets pulled back, you can then rotate the handle, and as you can see, there is a few different positions for it to lock in place. So just like that, let go and it locks in, boom, boom. So you can use it on any angle to fit the particular job. So most guys are going to have it, if you're right-handed, you're going to have it out the left-hand side like so, locked in place. That's your standard sort of grinder position that any other handle would be on any other grinder. But say you're trying to get into a tight spot, you can tweak that round so that you've now got it on a bit of a different angle. But that is not the most interesting part of this handle. To show you the most interesting part, I need to put on one of these batteries. With a battery now in position, I can show you why this handle is so special. So to activate this particular grinder, you need to grab both of these triggers in your left hand, if you're right-handed obviously, and then flick this little lever forward, pull it, away you go. Now if I try and pull this again, it doesn't work. To go again, you have to completely reset, take your hands off the tool, put it back on, go again. See, it doesn't work a second time. You have to start again every time. So you can't accidentally tap anything and get this thing to work. It is very safety conscious. And did you notice how quick that was? That stop is very, very quick. I mean, that's super quick. That was under a second. So this tool is designed safety, 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 safety. That's its thing. Grinders are dangerous tools, but this level of safety at home in your garage, you're probably not going to want this because this might end up driving you a little bit nuts. Plus, if you need to get into certain tight areas, this handle is going to get in the way. But more and more you will be finding these on job sites. Your boss will have to get you one of these, depending on your job of course. So as well as that safety feature, the rapid stop, it also comes with a very enclosed guard here for your cutting wheels and grinding wheels. It can easily be removed, but it does come standard with the tool. We'll leave that off while we're there. The guard rotates like so, nice and easy, clicks in place. If you want to remove the guard entirely, you can by taking this off. You're now at that point where you can get it off, right? Because you've got all these notches lined up with those notches there. This one's lined up, this one's lined up. Should just pop off. The arrows are lined up, right? Should just come free. Well, it doesn't, because there's actually another piece of metal under here. These are obviously for lining it up. They put the back piece on first, then screw this guard onto that back piece. So it can't actually be removed without undoing all those screws as well. This is designed so you can't cheat safety, and it is going to become more and more common as time goes by on job sites all around the world. Love it or hate it, it is the way things are going. So it's going to take a few people a little while to get used to that as well. I've never used one of these grinders. It has to have two hands on the tool at once. And I'll just show you again, if we go the other direction and we pull this first and then pull this, it doesn't work. You always have to have your hand on the handle first before you pull the trigger. That rapid stop is so quick. This sounds powerful and quick at stopping. Now it comes with your basic angle grinder, flange nut things. Flip it over one way for a cutting or zip disc, and flip it the other way for your grinding wheel. And it comes with this pin spanner for getting those on and off if it gets a bit tight. This tool has variable RPMs. That's what these modes are. We'll get to that when we start cutting. I'll show you those. And they range between 3,500 and 8,500 RPM. And this tool was made in Vietnam. Now, before we go and cut something with this and do some grinding, how about we have a quick look at one of its predecessors and just do a quick little comparison. As you can see, the handle, screw it in that side, take it out, screw it in that side. Some of them have a hole on the top to screw in the top. This particular one doesn't. This one comes with rapid stop, just like this one, but I don't think it's going to be quite as rapid as that one. I will test it. This is a paddle switch as well. Dead man switch, call it what you like. Doesn't have variable speed. This particular model is the M18 FAG125 XPDB, and it has the same maximum speed as this. Let's see if it sounds the same, shall we? Well, one thing that certainly doesn't sound the same is that rapid stop. The rapid stop on this one, as you hopefully still remember, if you don't, I'm gonna do it again anyway, is much quicker. Oh, I've got to do this double-handed. Hang on. I changed the mode. Let's put it back in mode 4. That is so fast. I don't think I've heard an angle grinder stop any quicker than that. That's a very quick tool. Back to this one. This one, you hear it start to slow before that brake kicks in. This one, it's instant. This is still very quick, but if regulations require it, then well, this one here is going to be the quickest around. Before we go and cut anything, I just want to test if any of these batteries sound different. So I'll start with this. We'll go through and just see if there's any sound change, okay? Standard battery. High output battery. Forge battery. Without going back and listening to that in an editing suite, it sounded to me like these two were roughly the same and that this one had a bit more oomph, but we won't know until we do some cuts. So let's go. Not that hard to stall, but then again, it's only an 18 volt grinder. Let's now change out the Forge battery for just the 6 amp hour high output. About the same, possibly slightly better than the Forge, but made my voice go a little bit weird there. But yeah, pretty similar. Let's try just old school. Now, I showed the 5 amp hour like this one before, but I'm gonna use the 6 amp hour because the other two are 6 amp hour, but it is an American one. Don't tell Milwaukee, New Zealand, okay? You can hear that slowing down as soon as I start, pretty much. Yeah, that battery, nowhere near as good as those other two. Now we've got a good old-fashioned Milwaukee grinder with a handle that, look, I don't have to hold on to. Forge battery. Well, it's meant to be just an improvement as far as I'm aware of the safety features, but it felt like this one cut out easier than the other one. High output. Wow, that felt harder to stall to me. Yeah, to tell you the truth, I think it's harder to stall the high output ones than the Forge. I'm just going to have another go at the Forge. Yeah, most definitely. Back to the high output. Definitely harder to stall with the 6 amp hour high output. I had to put a lot more pressure on it. That's interesting to know. And with the 6 amp hour XC, look at that, you can just put pressure slowly on it and it'll cut out. Yeah, that cuts out real easy with the old batteries. Right, so we've spoken about the rapid stop. That's fairly obvious. It stops pretty quick. But what about the auto stop? Why has it got auto stop written down here? Is this a little light? Sure is. And why is it a little light? This has a bunch of features to stop this thing from kicking back at you. There are 3 axes that this thing moves along where if it moves too violently, it will cut the tool out. Those are rolling like this, rocking back and forward like that, or in a sweeping motion like that. So I'll show you what I mean. That stopped by itself. I didn't do anything. My hands are still on both the triggers. So as you can see, it stops very easily. If your blade gets caught, you get jammed up against something and there's a bit of a kickback, just like on modern drills now, if there's any rotation or anything, it will shut down. Let's see just how sensitive it is. Pretty sensitive, that wasn't moving that fast. So, if you are afraid of angle grinders, which surprisingly, well, it's not surprising, I suppose, they are, if you don't know how to use one, they are dangerous things. And a lot of people are quite afraid of them. Now, if you are afraid of it, then this has a lot of features that will help keep you safe. If you've been using a grinder for 20 years and you know how to do everything right, then this is going to be damn annoying. What about one key? Pull the trigger here, you'll see this little blue light come on. That's the one key light. Now, one key has a bunch of different features and they're different for every tool, but basically you can use it as a inventory system. So if you have a bunch of tools, you don't know where they all are, for instance, this thing can help track them down. So you run it by an app on your phone, of course. Everything's run by phone apps these days. Sorry if there's a lot of noise in the background. They are currently ripping up the road outside, so it could be the odd clang and bang, but nothing I can really do about that, I'm afraid. When you log this tool against your phone, you can register it with your phone and everything, so no one else can use this thing. It'll then also store like the serial number on your phone, so if it ever gets stolen, you've got that information to give to the police or whoever. You can schedule in maintenance, you can leave notes about whether it's available for use, whether it's damaged or getting repaired or anything like that. Most of these things you don't really need if you're just a single at-home guy doing shit in his garage. But if you've got a fleet of these tools that you give out to lots of different guys, it helps you keep track of all of those. And if you've misplaced one, this feature I quite like, because I'm forever putting down tools and then losing them instantly and wondering where the hell they are and wandering around trying to find the damn things. I can't show you all of the screen because it has my address on it, because it tells you where the tool is. You can get a history of all the places the tool's been, so you know who's using it and where they're using it if you've got a fleet of guys. Anyway, if you click Find Item, you will come up with another screen. Hopefully it will pop up and I can show you. Can't show you the top of the screen because once again it still has personal information on it, but as you can see we're right near the tool, and so pretty strong signal with the tool. You think it would be right at the top, we're like directly above the tool, but if I walk away this will get smaller. So I'm going to put this tool somewhere and we're going to see how far away I can find it from. Alright, where is my tool? Oh, we're getting closer. Let's follow the signal. Da, da, da. Where could I possibly have put it? Da, 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 da. Getting closer, getting closer, getting closer, getting closer. Ah, there she is. I always leave it on the edge of this bit of garden here. Forever doing that. Man, it's noisy around here today. So that's a handy feature, although I have had a little bit of trouble with the app, the one key app on the phone. Have to restart it a few times every now and again. Sometimes it loses contact with the tool and so you got no chance of finding it. But what else does this app do? Well, let's say you've got 10 of these grinders sitting in a pile and you want to know which one's which. Well, I can make the lights blink on this one. So right now, lights are flashing like crazy on here, so that you know which one you are looking for. Like I said though, you know, unless you've got a heap of them, that feature, not all that necessary. One thing I'm not loving about the numbers here is they're all in white. Milwaukee tend to use white lights a lot on their tools, and I just find that they're pretty much almost impossible to see. Like, how well can you see that there's a number 4 on here inside? Once you're outside, that's almost impossible to see. And you probably didn't notice it earlier when I was doing the auto stop test, but there is a light that comes on under that bit where it says auto stop there, so that you know that the stop was caused by the auto stop and didn't stop for some other reason. I have unfortunately been getting this message a lot, which is annoying considering it's sitting right next to the tool. So you can change the names of the tool if you wish. You can put numbers on them if you've got like half a dozen of them or whatever. You can have purchase information, service records. There's a coin cell obviously inside the tool, which will be to do with the Bluetooth, I'm guessing. And we can go up the top there now for a moment. As you can see, great life on that battery. I have to have the phone like this most of the time because it has my personal information at the top. Oh, there it is again. So there is a lot of things you can do on the app, but unfortunately, every time I keep changing the screen, my address pops up. So we'll leave the one key app segment of the video to that at this stage, I'd say. There is a lot of tools, of course, you can put on that now. You can also get trackers to stick on tools and in other things to try and track things. Not the most accurate thing in the world, but similar to like the Apple one, which I've forgotten what it's called. It's probably called iStalk, something like that. So what else do I need to tell you about this tool before we wrap this thing up? It has a removable screen that goes over your air vents here. Lots of companies starting to do that now, so that you can take that off and blow it out. It is full of a bit of rusty colored stuff in there. I don't know where that came from. So that clips on, covers both sides in one go. I haven't really talked much about the different speeds. Let's just listen to them, shall we? So speed 1, 3,500 RPM. Speed 2. Speed 3. Speed 3 sounds pretty quick. And speed 4. The full 9,500 RPM. Why would you need different modes like that, different speeds? Well, if you're doing something like polishing with it, you'll want it on a slower speed, or sanding or something like that. If you're cutting or grinding, you probably want it on full whack. With variable speed grinders, I tend to mostly use them on full whack. Very rarely do I drop them down personally. But like I say, sanding, polishing, maybe if you're cutting something in an awkward position, you don't want to catch or jump or anything, you might slow it down a bit. Or if you don't want certain heat build-up, you can run it at different speeds. Now when it comes to the Forge battery, you'll be seeing this a lot more in my upcoming videos. I will talk about it a lot more shortly. But I didn't find that there was a lot of difference between that and, we're doing this one soon too, that and this one when it came to power. In fact, I would have said this was slightly better than the Forge, but time will tell with a few more tests. Maybe also the Forge hasn't got up to its full capacity yet, because I've only just got it, hasn't been through the number of charges with this, with these lithium ion batteries. They take a few charges before they get going, so before they get to their full maximum capacity and everything. So once this one's had a few more charges, it might come up to par or overtake this. Time will tell. Like I say, I'll be looking more closely at this particular battery and the new charger that goes along with this battery that can charge this thing, I do believe, in 25 minutes, which is damn quick. So we're looking at that in a future video with that. And oh, have I done a video on that yet? Haven't done a video on that yet either, so we'll be doing that soon too. In fact, I don't even think I've gotten around to doing a video on that angle grinder in the back yet either, which has been kicking around here for quite some time. So let me know down below what you think of this type of grinder. So this is basically a safety grinder. They've done as much as they possibly can to make this as safe as possible, which is going to suit some people and not suit others. Going forward, this sort of thing is going to become a lot more common. There are other companies that do similar sorts of things. Hilti do one with a slide switch, but if you let go of the body of the tool, it cuts out. I think Fine do one. So it's going to become more and more common, but I know it's not going to be popular with some of you. So let me know down below what you think of this and what you think of this sort of technology and what you think of the safety features. The rapid stop is awesome. Love the rapid stop. The auto stop, I would have to use this a lot more to find out whether that would be annoying. The two-handled situation, the double trigger, means, you know, if you're doing something, you can't adjust your material with your hand while you're using the grinder, because it won't run, it'll keep stopping. You'll have to adjust it, start it, adjust it, start it, which could be frustrating depending on what you're doing. Also, you can't like scratch your ass while you're using it. Every time you take your hand off this or this, you're going to have to reset everything and take your hands off, start again, which, yeah, once you get used to it, as I was getting used to it, it became, you know, it was becoming second nature pretty quick. So to just grab that first and just quickly release it and grab it again when you need to start it back up again. So for some applications it's going to be good, some applications might be a little bit frustrating. Let me know what you reckon down in the description. Let me know what other Milwaukee tools you want to see reviewed as well. Milwaukee are always pumping out a lot of new tools, and there's been a lot recently, so let me know down below. Got that one in the background, like I said, to do shortly. If you are in Oceania or Australasia, call it whichever you want. Australia and New Zealand, these are just being released now. In the US, they're already out, and in the rest of the world, I'm not quite sure. And by these, I mean both the Forge battery and the grinder. If you're in New Zealand, these have just come out. So get out there, get amongst it. Much more on the battery soon. So that is the Milwaukee M18 FSAGES 125, or if you are in the States, that's the 2986. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go see how big the hole in the road out the front is, and I will see you all on another video again soon. Cheers everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff. See ya.